into this match, Waves, formerly one of the best Samuses in North America. I don't know how true that statement is. Something I would like to believe. But Waves is a very, very good Samus player. Speaking from experience, repping the
Samus sucks tag. That one. You okay? You there?
Yes. Oh no.
Check one. Check. Are you? check 1 2. You are very much cutting in and out, my dude. Okay. Well, I have to move along for the very moment as yeah, we got ourselves Waves and Prismoid. It's a little bit. Yeah. Okay. He's gonna be resetting his mic. He'll be right back. But this is the matchup that prior opponents wanted to avoid against Prismoid. Always worried about the absorption of charge shot that could have killed.
Am I alive?
Are you alive? I can hear you now. You sound very good.
God, that scared me.
Okay, so crisis averted.
Yeah, what did I miss?
You missed Waves starting to really bring this game back, utilizing charge shot as a means of fear and as a means of movement more so than a means of projectile, and that's kind of what you have to do in this matchup.
Yep. The thing about Waves is really preaches that using charge shot to scare opponents is more important than using it to actually hit them, because it opens them up for opportunities to hit them with other moves that are also pretty strong, like those nairs. Obviously,
Dash
the
attack
movement aspect of charge shot is really powerful too, and Waves has some of the cleanest movement, even online, but not going to quite catch that roll move. Instead, Prismoid is going to not do that, and going to get off stage. These guys are playing really well, but that nair from center stage with the rage and the high percent is going to be taking that stock. Good stuff from Waves, but now Waves has to be worried about not forgetting to auto parry. That up smash that was insane. I didn't realize that was an auto parry. That's weird.
Yeah, it's I mean, the parry activity is frames 1 through 5 when you drop shield. So if any moves hit in that window, another parry activates. So yeah. And that usually applies for most multi-hits, though sometimes you can be fancy and flash shield anyway, because shield is frame 1. So
Yep.
if you want to be that guy, go ahead.
You can do those things in this video game.
Yeah.
But
Get
now,
all those crunchy numbers.
But now Waves was in a position of just getting kind of bombarded by the slingshot, but now finds himself back in advantage again. And Waves is incredibly good at keeping Prismoid at the ledge. You said in a former set that Villager at ledge is not a very good character, and they don't have a lot of options for getting out of there. Waves obviously recognizing his back and is doing something about it, using the balloons to extend off of that up tilt. We're seeing poetry in motion here, folks.
And all these so eventually at this point the mix-up is going to become just tethering to ledge. Waves is tether canceled high very, very frequently as a means of just recovery and allowing himself to keep his options open, not trying to risk grabbing ledge and putting himself in that situation, despite ledge being oftentimes a position of strength for Samus. And the more that Waves double jumps back to ledge double jumps back to stage without going to ledge, the more freedom he'll have just to retreat back to it when the time is right and when the position is scary, like at 168%. In fact.
Yeah, it's also very scary since Villager kind of struggles with killing sometimes, but they do. Prismoid definitely does have that mid-charge on deck, which knockback growth probably would have killed, but the back air from point blank range will be killing as well. And now I'm expecting Waves to probably try to commence a bombardment with some charge shots and projectiles, but no, Homie is just going to be staying chill, not really pushing his advantage too much, going for these grabs, not being hit despite missing quite a lot of attacks.
Oh, I wanted the runoff down air, to be honest. I saw the mini charge shot hit. It's like, oh, is it that time again?
Waves does like to play pretty conservatively, opting for ledge traps as opposed to anything saucy in bracket, as we are noticing right now. And see, there's the fear factor of having charge. When Waves holds charge for a long time and doesn't shoot it out, Prismoid might be expecting that it won't be coming out, and then all of a sudden the reverse is coming out and it's dealing 20 to 30% on you. But that one has been absorbed, and if Prismoid can sustain this and use it at an advantageous time, it might not be very good for Waves.
Oh my god, is he really dead?
Oh, yep, and there it is. That is going to kill. No, never mind. It's going to kill Screen, rather. And what did that do, like 40%?
That did, it's 70. Or it did like 60, I think, or it did like 65 or something. Like this went from like, oh man, like it's only a matter of time before Waves like really seals this game away to we are at even stocks, even percentage.
And a jump from ledge is going to come out in favor of Waves' charge shot.
Yeah, punished for the same thing. Jump from ledge is often so good. It's the only ledge option that is strictly unreactable. So you have to kind of prep for it, but luckily Samus just has so many options that cover a wide space. I mean, we saw it with stock 2 with that up tilt.
Yeah.
Whether it extended on the balloons or not, it still caught the jump that Prismoid threw out, and the charge shot did the same thing.
Yeah, and while that move does have a spike hit box against a grounded opponent, an aerial opponent, not so much. It's going to send them directly ahead, and at high percents, even at mid percents like 80, mid high, whatever, it's going to deal a lot of damage max attack pretty far, and it is really good at covering multiple options from the ledge. On top of Samus having bombs, having a really fast down tilt if you get a little bit too far on ledge, having charge shot that they can just hold beyond roll distance and cover like 4 options at once. Samus is a character that really does thrive at the ledge and can get some really cheeky and nutty kills, as we just saw. So, Waves is looking pretty dominant so far in the set. But Prismoid, again, has the X factor of that pocket, and they really weren't far behind from that game.
There's so much little things that can make characters with charge moves in particular, like just have that extra layer of mix. So there's a tech, I don't know if there's a way to properly if there's that many characters that utilize it, but if you have a charge move akin to charge shot, there's a tech called charge storage canceling, where if you hold a charge and then press and release shield within 3 frames, you are releasing the charge, putting it away like you're pulling out shield, but you're being put into an idle stance as opposed to pulling up shield. Okay, third time's the charm on that up tilt.
Yeah, you can just kind of spam it.
Yeah, like that.
Especially when your opponent doesn't have a regrab. Yep.
Samus makes extra use of this tech because when you're putting away the charge shot, she has a tether grab as a means to be effective at a range that charge shot doesn't hit. So you can just it's just extra layers of being up close and being afraid of the charge shot, being afraid of things like dash attack or jab that will come out rather quick, or you have the chance of just getting grabbed by the extra long tether that Samus is sporting.
And it's an incredibly powerful mix-up. I rarely ever don't charge storage anymore out of shield. It's really hard to do on a GameCube controller. I'm assuming that, muscle memory, you'll eventually learn how to do it, but it is incredibly easy on a Pro controller if you just flick down. And again, earlier we did see Waves get the charge storage cancel into the long Samus grab that you just saw, and it's a really good mix-up, because you might be expecting the charge to come out, or you might be expecting a shield, but nope, you're gonna be getting hit instead. And you can even hit like fast moves like down tilt or jab 1 if they're close enough out of it. It's a really good tech that a lot of heavies have. I think Lucario actually gets the most mileage out of it because they can B-reverse Aura into their opponent and get a lot of firms off of the damage hitbox from charging Aura Streak.
Yeah, it's yes, absolutely. As a Lucario player, yeah, he gets a lot off of the charge canceling. Characters like Mewtwo also get it. Robin is another one that can utilize that, but Samus does get a plenty out of it, and it really seems like Waves uses that as a preferred means of mix-up as opposed to pulling any of the bombs that will increase Samus's airspeed or air acceleration to insane degrees, but it doesn't give her the same amount of, it doesn't give Waves the same amount of freedom. But you know, despite all this tech we're talking, which is like, it's really important to know as a Samus player or as a Lucario player, Mewtwo player, etc. Prismoid says, well, I don't really need to fear Charge Shot as much as many other characters.
Right.
So I can play around you doing something else whenever you pull out Charge Shot. And that's been the kind of base status quo of this match. The balloons popped. The balloons popped on the bomb.
Without hitting Villager. That was a 1 in 100 bomb right there from Waves, and definitely connected.
One that he needed. He was given behind right now.
Yeah, definitely doesn't need to worry about taking that second stock, but definitely does need to worry about getting something started on this last stock, and that is not good. That is a high charge shot that is currently in Villager's pocket, sitting there, storing up in that alternate dimension that Villager seems to have in there, which for some reason, it's not an alternate dimension in New Horizons because it's extending your inventory space. But that's an argument for another day.
Yeah, that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to see Waves really start to rely on Zair as opposed to just utilizing Samus's ground movement. Zair as a means of poking, like you can't risk getting even a half charge shot at this point from Villager. Missiles will also cover space perfectly fine, but at a percent deficit like this, okay, here we are. This is the game we're playing.
Cycle. And he hits the backer. Not gonna hit that charge shot. Doesn't go for the downer. Nice attack from Waves. But he is at the ledge versus Villager. Gonna roll. Good stuff from him. Not gonna be getting hit by the tree. But Axe is on deck, ladies and gentlemen. And I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out any second here. Prismoid does have a pretty high percent lead, almost 100. Waves leading. Probably a backer might kill.
Not quite yet. And look at the wow, it was still active.
Hitbox. The activity of that tree is gonna result in taking that stock and the game for Prismoid.
1-1 it goes. Falling behind at so much of a deficit into that game, it forced Waves to kind of start making changes to their static game plan on the fly. Going for a lot more Zair, going for a lot more missile, like really trying to figure out what was a safe way to apply pressure, and Prismoid looked like they were in their element. Just sitting back, pulling tree, like throwing out Lloyd spawning immediately, absorbing all of the damage that would have been taken from one of those missiles, any one of those Zairs. Waves wasn't allowed to start anything, but were forced to rely on the standard specials that aren't as good as some other zoners. Samus needs to play at that mid-range and even at that close range, get those close-range combos working if they want to get stuff or get those early kills, get those edge guards, get those just anything.
Yeah.
And without the ability to without that ability to click together, charge shot into dash attack, even on a micro level, the rest of the game became that much harder.
Yes. And the thing about this matchup is that, you know, Samus gets a lot of mileage off of charge shot confirms. I mean, we know this. It's kind of been the plague of Ultimate Online, and I am as guilty as any other of my mains for trying to execute that. But the thing is, if you know that confirms into grab, it confirms into dash attack, it confirms into a lot of Samus' other moves too. And if Samus can't quite get these grabs or any of the combo starters up close, she's gonna have a really hard time racking up percents. And you know, if she also can't hit projectiles, you're not really going to be adding up any percent. And if you get a couple, you know, spare hits every so often, that's fine, but you're not adding anything up cumulatively. Whereas Villager can, you know, sit in the back, hit these slingshot, confirms these combos to death, and, you know, combos Samus off stage, just like we saw there.
And they never have to. Man, prismoid just it knows, and is fully taking advantage of the fact that they never have to really worry about charge shot, whether it be pocketing it, and that resting mind game that exists within. Oh man, the combos keep coming out. Like slingshot does everything that it adds up, and it does everything that that Waves and Samus just don't want it to do. It pecking away, like feeling. You're never allowed to feel safe against slingshot in a lot of ways, because while it isn't much, it does it disrupts enough to really make you reconsider of like, okay, they can constantly hit me, and I'm not allowed to hit them.
Right.
I'm not able to hit them. Excuse me.
And it is super demoralizing the more you get hit by that move too. And you know, while we don't often talk about it, mentality is super important in a game like Smash Bros.
In a fighting game, period. Oh, the Lloyd.
True. Yep, and the Lloyd is going to come out and take the stock at 153%. While it is hard for Villager to get kills at early percents, getting that damage to get to that 5% to get that kill isn't super difficult for them. It takes a while, but Villager has many opportunities to very safely be able to execute like that. And honestly, it just does not seem like Waves has had an answer for Prismoid after they adapted.
Yeah. What are they're gonna go to the other side of the stage, completely avoid the ledge trap. They've been jumping from ledge a lot, but at the rate that this game 3 has gone, Waves has never had a chance to try and even exploit that, let alone recognize it. Okay.
Ooh, try to go for that roll, but
okay.
Hey, when you're in a position like Prismoid is, you can go for those roll reads.
Oh, you can. There's a good. The risk is you lose your first stock at 170, and the reward is you win the game.
Win.
Like yeah. Like it's absolutely a trade that you or a chance that you can take as.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And Waves is just gonna call this one quits. Gonna have a fun time in losers bracket, hopefully. But Prismoid, well-earned victory. Coming from a 1-0 deficit, adapting super hard, figuring out the flow of combat against Waves, and just gonna be really good at exploiting what their character can do against a character who really can't deal with that super well. So good stuff from Prismoid. And again, another thing about Prismoid, I have not seen Prismoid miss a